What if I told you the San Antonio Spurs have a better record this season without Victor Wembanyama in their lineup than they do with Wemby? Which can only mean one thing. Victor Wembanyama is overrated. Not exactly. It means something much scarier. The San Antonio Spurs have surrounded Wemby with an elite supporting cast. 3-and-D wings, high-energy guys off the bench, an all-star point guard, a future all-star point guard, and of course, the best of them all, Luke Kornet. And the craziest part is, they have won most of these games not only without Wemby, but without Stephon Castle as well. Even Dylan Harper at times. Basically, the Spurs have had one of Wemby, Fox, Castle, or Harper out at every point of the season. And in the recent win over the Lakers, the NBA saw why the Spurs consider Stephon Castle untradeable, even in packages centered around a guy like Giannis, going off for a super efficient 30 points, 10 rebounds, and 6 assists. And on a court with Luka Doncic, De'Aaron Fox, Austin Reeves, and LeBron, Stephon Castle looked like the best player in a must-win game. And he did what he does best, which is get to the rim over and over again. Just like his first bucket of the game, getting the loose ball, and no disrespect to Luka, but yeah, and it's no disrespect to Luka because he can do this to anyone trying to guard him. Like this time where he gets the handoff. He gets Vincent on his back, and with Ayton in front and Vincent behind, that sounds crazy, but yes, watch him pump fake and then the step through for what could have been an and one, which is another part of Castle's game that is already elite for a second-year player. It's his ability to get to the free throw line, and when you think of all the best free throw drawers in the league, people will say they are foul baiters, which is fine because technically that's true, but on a skill level, they all have something in common. Change of direction, change of speed, and the ability to get defenders out of position and force them into fouling them. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Luka Doncic, Stephon Castle is one of those guys that can slow his pace down and then speed it up in an instant that leaves defenders looking helpless. And the scariest part about this Spurs team is they have not one, not two, but 3 guys who are almost impossible to stop from getting to the rim. 3 guys who can change direction and speed in a split second and leave defenders looking clueless. Just from this game alone against the Lakers, look at what these 3 guys did. Watch Harper on this play, getting the handoff from Kornet. Vincent does well to chase him around the screen, and just look how smooth that behind the back is, before then using Kornet again to get to the rim and finish. Or how about Stephon Castle on this play, bringing the ball up the floor? He looks at Kornet like he's about to get the screen, and that's when he hits Rui with the nasty cross and just glides to the rim. And then there's the all-star De'Aaron Fox. And what more can I even say about a play like that? That is just filthy. Giannis, Luka, MJ, I don't care. I'm keeping this core in San Antonio, in particular Dylan Harper and Stephon Castle, because the age of these guys, what the Spurs are currently doing, they've been one of the best teams in the league without one of the best players in the league. Imagine this was Denver doing this without Jokic, and then imagine that the supporting cast doing this is built up of players either in their prime or still yet to even enter it. We can question the shooting, sure, but there's a very real possibility in 2 years' time, these are 3 all-star guards on the same team next to that alien. And I don't know if people realize it now, this is potentially OKC 2.0 building. And I just want to quickly remind everyone what Wemby was doing before his injury, because I know it was getting a lot of attention, but it's been a while. It's easy to forget the 26, 13, and 4 a game he was averaging, whilst looking like one of the best defenders of all time. I think he's going to fit pretty well with a healthy Spurs lineup, because we have evidence that you can put Vic out there with anyone and you're going to have a defense good enough to make them a good team. We saw this last year. Now you're telling me he actually has a good team? it's going to be scary. And don't just take it from me either.
By the way, San Antonio's really good. If anybody hasn't noticed, Wembanyama hasn't played, and I know we lost to them, everybody, but they're okay. San Antonio's got an okay team.
And I already mentioned the 3 guards. You know who's been massive in the absence of Wemby and just the entire season? It's Devin Vassell. He was once considered the guy on the Spurs, and whilst he's not that anymore, I think he's become one of the most underrated players in the NBA. Someone who shoots 40% from 3, can put the ball on the floor, make a play, does his job defensively, doesn't demand the ball, but on nights without Stephon Castle, without Victor Wembanyama, he can put up 25 points. And when those guys come back into the lineup, he's comfortable taking 10 shots and playing his role. He's exactly the kind of unsung hero you need on teams like this to take you to the next level. And we can talk about De'Aaron Fox, we can talk about Devin Vassell, Stephon Castle. There is one man who absolutely changed the Spurs' fortunes, and who the Spurs can't live without in the absence of Vic. It's Luke Kornet.
Looking. Black goes to the rim. Wagner had time. And Kornet sends it out at the buzzer. And the Spurs escape Orlando.
That was Luke Kornet with the game-winning block against the Orlando Magic. And whilst that might seem like his biggest highlight of the season, that's just a small glimpse of what he's been doing all year long. Protect the rim and use his size on both ends of the floor. I know this is bad timing after LeBron just dunked on him, but any good shot blocker is going to get dunked on. Take that from Wemby himself. But earlier in that same Magic game where he got the game-winning block, look at Luke this time get switched onto Anthony Black. And let's be honest, you think he's about to get cooked, right? That would be a fair assumption, but don't sleep on Mr. Kornet's agility as he sticks with Black the entire way before swatting him at the rim. Or how about this time against Anthony Black again, and this is just great defense from Luke, with Kornet playing the pass initially, and then as Black goes to drive past, he gets up and blocks him at the rim. And if you really want to see how much size he has, look at him on this play, this time with Edie getting the ball in the paint. And who is that coming across to block Edie on his hook shot? Last season, the Spurs were an absolute disaster defensively when Wemby got injured, or just when he went to the bench. Even in the absence of Vic this season, when Luke has been on the floor, the Spurs have been a solid defense. And I'm not trying to be big-brained or anything like that. De'Aaron Fox is the second best player on this team. Stephon Castle has taken a leap. Dylan Harper is special. But Luke Kornet might have made the biggest difference to this team this year, particularly in the absence of Wemby. And that's why Luke Kornet is an idol to so many people, including myself. Now, if you made it all the way to the end of the video, dropping a like would be cool, subscribing. I am a bit sick, so I hope my voice was okay. I hope you have a great day. Bye.